So hello and welcome to Dommy Tries This. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is my What Am I Doing Out of Bed coffee mug. I found this at Walmart. I think it was about $5. It's huge. And it fits my mood today. It took me a while to get out of bed. I would rather still be in bed like our little visitor back here. I don't know, can you see him? Okay, his ear twitched. He's otherwise ignoring me. That's our shadow cat. I'd much rather still be in bed. It's a beautiful day out, and I'd much rather be in bed. Anyway, today's tea is from our Sips by this month, and it is the Barr Company Raspberry Vanilla Tea. It is a loose tea. I'm using one of the Sips by little sachets to hold it in my cup. It's a light pink tea. It smells amazing. Oh, it smells really, really good. And it hasn't been steeping all that long, so it might be a little weak on the flavor, plus big mug. I did add extra tea. This is supposed to have 1 to 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons for 8 to 10 ounces of water. Yeah. But I did go a little easy on it because these teas do tend to be quite strong. Hopefully theirs is no different than some of the others I've tried. It is very hot, so I'm going to go ahead and try to give it a sip now because I'm sitting here trying to hang on to this mug and burning my fingers. It smells amazing. Okay, so I'm getting faint hints of the raspberry. Now, right now, the raspberry is strongest. It's very light. It definitely needs to steep a bit longer. So today is our Whole and Healthy Wednesday, and if you notice the thing below, it says that we will be kind of talking about taking breaks a little bit. Something along those lines. Title should be something along that line. We did talk about that in regards to food, but this week we're doing it a little different. I was supposed to talk about the second half of diets, got behind this past week, and haven't managed to finish my research. And since I'm not up on diet culture, I decided I was going to do something else, and we will get back into the diets next week, and then after that, I don't know. I honestly don't know. You guys will have to let me know down below if there's anything else you want to talk about. Told y'all I should have stayed in bed. I really should have. If it hadn't been for you guys, if it hadn't been a filming day, I just might have too. I'm feeling fine. I'm not sick. It's kind of a low-key day. Anyway, another quick warning too. We just had our elementary kids released from the bus. It might get a little noisy in the background. On the plus side, my neighbor upstairs has been very quiet the last couple of days. Cross our fingers it stays that way. So let's get into our old and new. I do not have a whole lot of new this time. Most of this new stuff will probably be from the Ipsy bag that I just unbagged but won't be going up until Friday. I got a couple of things. They're actually not in individual packaging, but let's go ahead and take a look. So we're going to try to work with the Pretty Poison palette like we have been all month. Not sure I'll actually get anything out of this, but we'll see what happens. The main thing I want to use is my ColourPop custom palette. I have I think I finally completed it for the most part. This guy's like bright. This one is new, and I believe this one is new. And a number of these are new-ish, as in they were ordered after January or January and February. And but these greens and this blue, these are older. This is older. This is from an attempt at my Christmas palette. This silver didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. But a lot of this is new-ish and on the newer end. And then, of course, we have all of these older ones here. And so anyway, this is going to be my primary focus today, I think. There's some colors in here I really, really want to play with. They're duochromes and the like. So, yes. That is one thing. And also on the new side, the Luxie that I just recently opened on the channel, I want to use probably this blue right here. So we'll see if we can get into that as well. So that's most of my new stuff. I also did use as new this VDL Lumilayer Primer sample. I am setting up and getting ready to do a couple more sample queens, so I'm trying to work through some samples. So we got that going as a new as well. And I guess the Mario Badescu, I've been using it for a lot, but this will also count as new because I've only had it for maybe a week, something like that. I'm really enjoying that. Really enjoying this. So this will also be something we use that's new. Also amongst the new, I have this Color Pop liquid liner. This is in CRZY, so their version of Crazy. I've been using this a little bit, but I just recently received it. I have actually really been enjoying this. It's just saying something for me because I don't generally like liquid liners, but this will also be in our new today, although you may not see me apply it. Alrighty then, so let's go ahead and get started. I kind of sort of have an idea of what I want to do. Kind of sort of. I'm going to start with this color here. It's right here. Put that under my brow. So I kind of wanted to talk about life getting in the way, as it did kind of for me this week, and when you need to change directions. But I'm not talking about food, although it does apply to food. We have talked about that in the past when we talked about the holidays and not worrying about your food because you're enjoying your family and you're enjoying the holiday. And food should not be the biggest concern on your mind during that time. You should just be enjoying stuff. I think most of the time you should just aim for enjoying life. That's me. But anyway, but I wanted to talk about having to change directions in exercise. And there are several times when you will need to do that. And there are times when you will want to do that. And sometimes it's not just changing a direction, it's adjusting things, so to speak. It's a nice light color. Doesn't have the pinkish cast that I kind of hoped for in one of these, but that's okay. I think this other one over here probably has it. But anyway. So, like I said, just for some backstory, I got behind this week. I honestly don't know what happened on Monday. I think I was fine on Monday. I think everything started backing up on Tuesday. And basically, the way my filming schedule works is Monday and Friday I film, and in the evening I start my editing. I usually do two videos, sometimes I do 3, but I start my editing in the evening. I usually get two fully edited, 2 of the films fully edited, and then one of those uploaded on Monday and Friday. On Tuesday and Saturday, I finish up any editing and I finish up any uploading. Well, I had some problems, I guess, on Monday, and for some reason that uploading and everything did not happen the way it was supposed to. And I honestly don't know what was going on Monday. But on Friday, we had basically over the weekend, we had several things sort of hit the pan all at once. Hit the fan, however you want to say it. I had to do a major grocery trip that took a lot of time, and I had been up late Thursday as usual. Thursday is a night when I stay up and I wait for my husband's paycheck to come in so that I can pay some bills so we can see what we have for food. And then we divvy out the money to my husband and to myself to take care of food during the week. So I was up late Thursday. I ended up getting up late Friday. I ended up going to shopping that night, so my filming ended up not getting finished. We also had my granddaughter here, and then 2 things happened over the weekend. A longtime friend, ex-boyfriend of one of my daughters died. He was only 28. He died from complications of diabetes, and she was a wreck. And she called, and I had to try to comfort her. And unfortunately, without a car, I couldn't go and see her. Or I would have. I would have been there in a heartbeat, and probably wouldn't have had videos up on Sunday and Monday today, because I still needed to go through and finish uploading from Friday, finish editing, finish uploading, and then I still have to go through them because I watch them on YouTube to make sure that they've come up with no issues. And most of the time they come up with no issues, but that's still at least an hour of my time usually taken up just watching and making sure everything's okay, checking all the tags, checking all, yeah, just all of that stuff. I try to make sure everything's up and looking good before it actually loads. Okay, so next, oh, so many pretty colors. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this one on the inner corner and this one on the outside. And I don't know what I'm going to use from you. Well, we'll get there. So we had that happen, and that was tough as well. And then also on top of that, that same day, my oldest, who lives here with us, and that's why her daughter visits us every other week, give or take, she was sick. That color is not showing up on me as well as I'd hoped. Probably needs something, you know what, I might take that bright pink and put it over it, maybe. But anyway, she wasn't feeling well on Friday when we went shopping, and I told her it was probably ear infection. She decided to wait and see how she could do. She ended up having to call out, and we ended up having to take her into urgent care. And I was right. It was an ear infection. You know, raising 4 kids, you can tell the signs, right? Yeah, I need something a little brighter. I'll take care of that in a minute. I'm going to get that other color and put it on the outside using the same brush. So I now have one child stressed out because a longtime friend has died. And I have the other child ill, and I have my granddaughter here, and basically my weekend was completely it was just hard to get anything done at that point. She was well enough by Sunday to do dinner, so because that's her day to cook. So fortunately that I was able to finish up what I needed to do to make sure the videos were ready to go. And she went to work today, so she did get in, she did get what she needed and take care of it and all of that. But for a lot of the weekend, it was just a mess. It really was. So, and like I said, during the week, just things, I don't know what happened Monday. I think I did a triple and I just couldn't get the filming done in time. There were a lot of little interruptions during the day. I shouldn't say the filming. I couldn't get the editing done the way I usually do. There were a lot of little interruptions during the day. I know on one of those days, I actually managed to do quite a bit of editing on one of the novels, on a novel that I'm editing for pay. But the rest of the week just kind of, I don't know, just kind of disappeared. I just seemed to I don't know. I really don't know what happened. It was just one of those things where everything just seemed to not work the way it's supposed to. I'm going to take this brighter pink and I'm going to brush that over that inner corner part because it's a little, kind of disappears on my eyes, which is not what I wanted. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and brush that over and see if we can kind of brighten it, lighten it. Yeah, there we go. A little bit. Still needs something. Still needs something. But now I don't feel like it's hiding in my skin. I feel like it can actually be seen. Because of all that, other things got pushed aside. I ended up not finishing a lot of stuff that I had to do this week. And, but the other thing that happened, and that's probably more important to discuss, is I ended up switching up one of my one of my exercise days. So as you know, if you've been here for a while, you should know by now, I do have some issues with SAD. My version of it isn't that bad. It does take some time for it to kick in. So it takes at least 3 or 4 days for the SAD to really start kicking in. I will be tired. It will be harder for me to get things done. I'll be low energy, but it usually is until about the 3rd or 4th day that I really start feeling the depression part of it. And if we get a day of sun around that time, I usually recover fairly quickly, and then it takes another 3 days or so. But if it persists and that depression part of it continues, it does get harder to recover from it. So we could have 5 or 6 days. By that time, I'm really feeling low energy. I don't want to get out of bed. I can function, but I don't want to get out of bed. I'm struggling a little bit. I'm feeling really tired. And then let's say we get some sun. We get a day of sun. The sun will energize me for a day or two, and then the SAD hits harder and sooner. And it'll do that through the rest of the time. So winter is shit for me. It just is. It's terrible. I can function, but it's terrible. It's a terrible time. Okay, I'm going to take, using some of the same colors I always use out of this palette. I seem to have hit on the ones that are like favorites, so to speak. You know what? I'm gonna do something a little different. Just a little bit. I'm going to grab another fluffy brush. And I'm going to take some of this nightshade. I haven't used it at all. I'm going to brush it over the color pop that I did here and see if it actually adjusts that color at all. Nightshade. Because I haven't played much with the mattes, mostly because I don't like mattes. Oh yeah, it did. It did pretty. So we just put nightshade over that lighter color, and it's turned more purple. And it's given the nightshade a sheen. So the two have blended beautifully. So I like that. I like that. I'm going to take this color here. I'm going to put that in my crease and go outwards. And then I will take the color Intoxicated, which is the darker purple in the Bad Habit Poison palette, and deepen up the crease a little bit. Okay, so I've been struggling quite a bit with that over the winter, with being, you know, low energy, tired, not wanting to get out of bed, kind of depressed for no reason. I was stressing out a lot easier over everything, everything, from money to what are we doing with food to whatever. I mean, just seriously, it was a bit of a mess. And it was getting worse and worse because honestly, this winter we've had pretty nonstop gray days with, you know, overcast, rain every night. So my husband just came home, so we'll be having a little bit in the background, just letting y'all know. So on top of the SAD, I was also dealing with what I call my storm headaches, which are doing better because I'm on my blood pressure medication, thank God. But I mean, really, it's been a very rough winter because those storms have been every night. The rain has been almost every day. And here I am trying to build up particular habits and struggling just to get through. So I am proud of every single one of those days that I got up and I did my workout. And even though I was tired or whatever, I never risked myself though. So if I haven't gotten enough sleep, if I am, really, really tired, it's just more than just what's going on with the SAD or whatever, I don't lift. I don't risk that injury, because that's exactly what will happen. Is you will, if you're too tired, you will mess up your form and you have a higher chance of injury. So I tend not to risk that. Okay, so now we're going to take that Color Venomous and deepen up that crease. So, but on Tuesday of this week, my regular workout week, I got up and there was sunshine, glorious sunshine. And I started to get ready to do my lifting. And then I thought about it. I was like, girl, you need to get out. You need to be in the sun. You need to change this. In the future, I will be still doing my lifting on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, but I hope to start going walking on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, maybe, or at least Wednesdays and Sundays when I don't have quite so much going on. But I will start walking again, because I need that sunshine. I need to be able to get out there and yeah, do my thing. I really, really need that. So, but for this day, I decided to switch up and just walk, because I needed that sunshine. I just really, really needed it. And then on Thursday, I did a 50-50, I believe. I did lifting. I did half of my lifting, and then I put on my tennis shoes and I went out, because there was we've had in and out sunshine for this whole week. So I took advantage of it. And this eye is looking a real wreck. I know why it's looking a real wreck, but that's okay. Got quite a bit of fallout going on. I am going to start with this color here. It's sort of a bluish green. I'm going to put that on the inner corner, and I'm going to end with on the outer corner, I'm going to use the Luxie. So that's my plan right now. We'll see how that works out. So the point of all that is, if you have something happen, if you are tired, if you still want to get a workout in but aren't feeling your current workout, it is okay to do something different, and you should, because if you keep forcing yourself to do something just because you had it planned, you will end up not liking what you're doing. Picking this up on my Alamar brush and getting this Luxie and putting it on the outside. So sometimes you need to change what you're doing. Sometimes, and then we're going to take a little bit of that blue up here. This blue is being, this particular shade is being kind of eaten up a little bit. Which is surprising, because the other shades actually worked out really well. What are you doing? Cats. The whole world is theirs, right? So anyway, I changed that up. I'm going to be changing my actual workout routine a little bit, going to a few more days a week, because I kind of need that extra time in the sun. I actually really enjoy walking. I never saw myself as a person who would enjoy walking, but I really enjoy walking. So I'm making those changes. We've had a lot more sun this week. I'm really looking forward to being able to go out and just soak it all in, get my energy reserves back up, try not to feel nearly as tired, all of that stuff. I actually like this color, even though it's eaten up a little bit. It is still cold, but it is not raining. It is beautiful out there these days. So I'm going to be switching things up, which means it's probably a good thing that I've been doing 3 videos a day for at least a week. At least a week. My husband brought me cake. My husband thinks about me. My husband loves me. I'm going to use this color Nectar. I'm going to brush it across the center of the lid, and then we'll be done with the eye. And I'm using a brand new brush. This is a Moda Royal and Langnickel Moda Pro. This is their precision angle. I don't think it's much of a precision, but okay. We're just gonna throw some of this over the middle and lighten up this inside the eye a bit, I hope. Definitely gonna need to do better than that. The other thing I'm going to be changing is this week, I had to ask about it. I don't know if that can be seen as lightened up. But I had to ask. I have been able to figure out when to increase my my actual dumbbells, the ones I hold in my hands. But my ankle weights have been difficult in the sense that give me a second here. I think that did what I wanted. Let's take a look here. We all know this is going to look like a hot mess until I get everything on. Yeah, I think that's going to work. I think that's fine. My earrings are kind of being weird. Anyway, so I've always known when to increase my handheld dumbbells. I've not been so good as figuring that out for my ankle weights. I have a couple of ankle exercises I can do just fine, and it feels like I need to increase the weights. But I have others where I'm still struggling to get through the last 2 reps on the last round, because I do each exercise twice. I do 7 reps in 2 sets, so I end up doing 14 of each. And in the second set, the last 2 reps are the hardest for me to do. So I had to ask if I needed to wait until those last 2 reps became easier, or if I should go ahead and do it now because most everything else seems to be doing very well. And the response came back is the best thing to do if you can is to go ahead and increase the weight, and your body will actually rise to the occasion. So this week I'm increasing the ankle weight. I'm still keeping my dumbbells where they're at for the time being. I have been staggering, which is another thing that I've changed. So I will start off with a heavier weight up until a certain point, and then I drop down to a much lighter weight because I'm working on my back. My back can't handle the heavier weight. I believe I've mentioned that I've had some I started doing the back exercises, and my back started to hurt more during activities that it wasn't hurting as much. I ended up listening to my body. That's another important thing about making these adjustments. You need to listen to your body. I'm not talking motivation. I'm talking about your physical. I was in a lot more pain, and I thought, okay, so I can't use 5-pound weights on doing those back exercises. I dropped them down to 3 for about a week, and then I went up to 4, and I'm at 4. And I'm sticking with 4 until that pain is much, much less. And then I go back to the 7s for a while, and I have a couple of them that I'm still doing 6s. Once the ones that I'm using 6-pound dumbbells get to the point where I'm using 7s, I'm going to start increasing my 7s to 8s. So it sounds very complicated, but it's not. So start with 7, drop to the 4s, go back to 7 for a bit, then go to 6, and then go back to 7. That's what it comes down to. So, and then when I go to 8s, the beginning will be 8s, down to 4s, 7s, 6s, 7s. So I gradually rotate in the higher weight is basically what I do, because I'm listening to my body and what my body says it can do. And so that's something important. If you're doing an exercise and you're in pain all the time, you need to figure out why you're in pain and do a different exercise. If you're like me and you need sunshine and you're doing all your exercise in the house, find something to do outside. Get your sunshine. Find ways to adjust for what you need in terms of actual activity. Yes, we have talked about food before, but this is about actual exercise and activities that you love doing, and making sure that you can get those in and that you will enjoy them. And because the one thing you don't want to do is be in so much pain or have so much going on or force yourself to do things that you think you need to do that same, well, you know, I'm doing the beach body such and such, and this is day 5, and this is what I'm supposed to do on day 5, and I don't really want to do this. I would much rather do this, but I'm going to do the day 5. You know what? You can always go back to day 5. You don't have to do that exercise. You just don't. Do what you enjoy doing so that you will continue to enjoy doing it. I think that's what I needed to say. So, eyes are done. I'm probably going to brush them a little bit to meld the colors out a little bit. But for now, I'm going to go and finish my face, and I will be back when I'm done. So this is our final look. It's a bit more on the pink side, purpley side than I was actually aiming for. And I ended up having to go over the inner eye with the color Lovesick from the Pretty Poison palette. The color pop just was not holding up to my usual eye issues. Beyond that, I really didn't change much. I did use the color pop eyeliner. I did update, reapply the stuff underneath the eyes, but beyond that, didn't change much. Didn't change much. And I hope you like the look. So I just wanted to, just to close up a little bit here. Don't have much to say. If you are finding yourself getting bored, if you're finding yourself in pain, if you're finding yourself not interested in a particular activity you have planned, change it. Do what you need to do to keep yourself active. If you're in pain, you need to figure out why. If you've used too much weights, in which case you're going to need to hold off for a while. If you've gotten a problem with like planters in your foot, you won't be able to walk for a while because you need to rest your injuries. But beyond that, listen to what you feel most excited about or interested in doing. That will help keep you going and help keep you active. If you try to keep pushing yourself with stuff, you know, like I said, like the Beachbody, they give you like calendars that help you build up to things. But if something on the calendar doesn't interest you and a different activity does, you know, go for it. You can always go back to the calendar. You can ignore the calendar. You need to do stuff that will make you be, my heart's went upside down now. You need stuff that will make you feel excited for what you're doing, liking what you're doing. If you're like me and you have sad in any way, shape, or form, if you get a sunny day, find a way to get outside. Even if it doesn't mean, even if you're not a walker, find, like, go to the park or something. Find some way to recharge and re-energize and to feel better and to be listening to your body in the way that you need to keep your journey going. Because you can get stagnant. You can get bored. You can decide that I just don't want to do this, so I'm not going to do anything because that's what I'm supposed to do for today. Don't do all that stuff. Just find something else that interests you so that you will continue. You know, you gotta move with life. You gotta pay attention to the things that are going on. And you know, if the sun comes out, don't stay inside if you need to go out in the sun. There are moments when you just have to go, you know what, screw it. Today, I'm just going to do what I need to get done. I will get back to the exercise when I can. Anyway, that's it for today, and I hope you like what you've seen. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. I currently upload 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, but we do get bonus videos, and we will be getting more bonus videos as we go into summer. So you want to have that bell rung so you know when I'm uploading. If you're part of my notification squad, you want to check both your bell and your subscription and make sure they are both still active. Yes, those are still being a mess. A real mess. YouTube could fix it, I'm sure, if they really wanted to. Too much stuff going on, I guess. They have other things that they're paying more attention to. So you want to check that and make sure you are still an active subscriber and that your bell is rung. If you don't subscribe, well, we would be disappointed, but you are always welcome to come back because we love having company. And if you do come back, don't forget to bring your cup of tea, even as if it's as big as your head. Doesn't need to be as big as your head, but yeah, as big as your head. Anyway, this has cooled down significantly. There's not a lot taken. One of the things about this teacup is it's so big that I'm going to have to hang on to it and reheat it and drink it later because I have another video to do in a minute. But it's huge. This is going to be like for the rest of the day tea. Yeah, huge, huge. Not quite sure what happened there. The phone just completely shut down. So anyway, we're going to taste our tea and get moving along. I've got other stuff to do today. Anyway, let's give this a taste. Like I said, it's cooled off a bit, quite a bit. And the mug is big enough that I'm going to have to reheat it and drink it all later. But let's go ahead and give it a taste. I'm getting the raspberry. I'm not getting the vanilla. It tastes very good cold, which is a nice thing. I love teas that can be either hot or cold. It's still a bit on the light side. The flavor is very, very light. So I suspect I could have used a bit more of the actual tea in here. But mug. I mean, yeah. Anyway, it's a good tea. I really like it. And I think I will look into possibly getting a bigger bag one day. Maybe. My 6-pack seems to keep me pretty much in tea, so. There's some that I want to buy, but I don't need to right now, so I'm not sure if I will actually end up buying them when I actually get the time and run out of tea, if I ever run out of tea. Anyway, you all have a good day.